This is a beautiful Alphedia, and I love what you're wearing on top of your head. It's gorgeous. What's it?
This was a birthday present from my friend Alilia, who's my son's god mother as well, who quite a few people know Alilia. And yeah, she gave it to me, and I thought, do you know what? It's not had an outing. I only got on my birthday. She gave it to me in January. And so I thought it's not had an outing. So what a better debut for my beautiful new crown. For those who do go onto my website, I do like wearing crowns. You'll see that I like
Yeah.
having headdresses. It's my thing. So yeah.
Good for you.
I'm a fairy queen, so hence I need my headdresses.
Anyone else, if you please make sure you're muted so we don't get any sort of feedback. That'd be good. It saves me rushing around trying to mute people. Yeah, Alphedia is one of the world's top spiritual channels. She lives in Argyll, which is a homeland of Scotland, way up north. So I think we're about the furthest we can be away in the UK. And yeah, I mean, I've seen you around for many years, and you're certainly one of the top speakers on dragons, and I love that. And you said you were going to talk today about dragon healing to release what's holding you back, which sounds
Yes.
extremely powerful. So the floor is yours for the next hour. Welcome.
Great. Okay, welcome everybody. Hello, I am ALPHEDIA ARARA. I'm just going to see if I can, just so I don't get distracted, because I'm looking at everybody's lovely faces. I'll just change my angle over to speaker. So yeah, I'm ALPHEDIA ARARA. I am the founder of the Dragon Wisdom School and the founder of Elemental Beings in Scotland. So I set Elemental Beings up first, because I wrote a book and launched it. Well, I set the business up in 2007. So I've been going a long time doing this work. And my first book was Messages from Nature's Guardians, and it was before the 2012 shift. And at that point, the dragons hadn't woken up. In 2012, I had my first child, and that was the first year that I was asked to run the Dragon Workshop. I did my 9 months maternity. My baby was born, Argyll, New Year's Day baby. And my first workshop back was in the August, and the first one I was asked to run was a Dragon Karma workshop, because the dragons wanted to heal the karma between humanity. And I was blown away. People flew in from all over the world. I mean, I just had a 9 month break, and I thought, oh, well, nobody will remember who I am now. And people came from all around the world to do this course in a tiny little place called Dromelsier, which you'll only know about really if you've read about the Spine of Albion book, because it's where the Billinius line goes through. It's near Peebles in Scotland. We used to live in Merlindale until 2 years ago. We moved 3.5 hours north west. So we are, yeah, there's still quite a bit of Scotland beyond us, Kev. You've still got another 4 or 5 hour drive until you're getting the ferry over to Orkney, but we are pretty far north. So the dragons came in after I ran that course, and they said, we want you to set up a Dragon Wisdom School, a place where you can share our teachings about the dragons, and people can gather and connect. And so yep, I invested the time and paid staff to create the website. I am going to be revising it because it's not been worked on since the pandemic, really, to bring a bit more information through. But you can go on to that. You can sign up to the newsletter, dragonwisdomschool.org, and have a look at that. But I work with the dragons quite regularly. I run lots of courses. I mean, I've channeled over 600 courses that are in our back catalogue. You can download them all. But I do a lot of earth healing work with the dragons. That's kind of known as an earth healer. My undergraduate degree is in geography and environmental science. And prior to my spiritual to wake up, I was a political advisor in the first Scottish Parliament. I was an environment advisor and a policy researcher and maker. And my old boss is who I worked for 5 years is the current First Minister of Scotland. So I was pretty up there, and I pretty much thought by my mid-20s my life was set. I was going to be a political policymaker. I was going to help change environmental awareness. That was my passion. But the universe had other ideas, and I ended up bedridden, unable to move for over a year and a half. The doctors had no clue what was wrong with me. and they'd put me on palliative care at 23 and just left me to it, left my parents to it as well. So I'm sat here with you today because I got myself well, and my parents found a holistic neurophysiologist who had been running a centre in Glasgow. She was a psychic. She got the message to move to Perth, which is where I was. I was in a severe state. She had to shut down her centre for a week to start treatment on me. And I was treated with a Danish ion machine. It's called cell cryotherapy. And slowly we started to get movement in. She immediately spotted I had a form of meningitis. I had encephalitis of the brain, which is why my nervous system wouldn't work. I couldn't move, couldn't tolerate any artificial light. I couldn't have visitors. My meninges and my ears were too sensitive for sound. I couldn't read, watch TV. I literally did the dark night of the soul. Now, I'm a scientist. I didn't believe in, I maybe believed in God because I'm a proper Christian, but I wasn't praying, I wasn't doing anything like that. But I had this strong belief and this strong faith that someone was going to come and get me well. And I remember saying that to a psychiatrist, because they said, a psychiatrist, is she mentally ill? Is that why she can't move? And she was like, no, this is neurological. There's no sign of depression. I've got a woman here who's not depressed, but she just can't move. And it was during that time that I started to open up. I got a visit from my grandfather 2 days before my Auntie Joyce died, my dad's sister. And I remember shouting out, no, I'm not ready for this yet. I didn't know why I was saying that, but I saw him walking towards me. It was really strange because, well, I've heard about ghosts and I thought they floated, but he very much walked towards me. And when I said, no, I'm not ready yet, he turned round and I saw the back of his waistcoat. And that's what my granddad was a berry farmer. We're from Perthshire, Scotland. It's the berry country of the British Isles, really. And he passed over when I was 9, so he'd been crossed over a long time. And then I told my mum, I told my dad, and then I told Joyce, who's the lady getting me better. And then she opened up about how she was actually psychic, and although she was a neurophysiologist, she was a psychic. She got a lot of psychic information. And she started to teach me about the soul, and I started learning about angels through her. And I had to teach myself to read again. And one of the first books I actually read was Doreen Virtue's Lightworkers Way. And I just thought everybody could speak to angels. I thought everybody could hear these beings if they tried to do it, because it was quite easy for me. And I didn't know anyone else who was into spiritual stuff. As I say, I was brought up Christian, Sunday school every week. So this was a whole new world, but a really exciting world. And my healing journey really started from there, with the angels guiding me. And then when I started to walk outside, I could see beings I didn't know they were initially, and that's what the whole book's about, Messages from Nature's Guardians. I was meeting fairies, I was meeting mermaids, I was meeting, sprites, I was meeting unicorns. And then my husband appeared in my life. He obviously wasn't my husband then. He came in as a retired homeopathic doctor who knew Joyce. He just moved up to Scotland from England. Again, he was dragged up to Scotland from Yorkshire, had to move to get me well. And he agreed to come and treat me. And his treatment as well cured my eyes, because I was 3 years unable to tolerate any artificial light, which meant that I'd be back in my bedroom by 4 o'clock in the winter, if maybe go swimming, or maybe I was getting rehabilitation on a trampoline. But I couldn't, anytime lights were put on, I couldn't go in shops or anything like that. Where there was lights on, my brain couldn't cope. It would send me into seizures. And then he was the one who told me about dragons. And he told me that he'd been sent to Wales and how he'd had to activate this dragon egg. And I was like, wow, I've not met a dragon. You've met all these dragons. And then I took my first encounter with a dragon, actually, was in 2008, when I was asked to climb this hill, Tinnis Castle. It's Merlin's castle. And that was a big thing. I hadn't been able to climb a hill. I mean, it's not a massive hill, but it is quite a hike. And how I got there, I really don't know. But we got to the top and it was winter. It was winter solstice. And this powerful, powerful, powerful energy appeared. And we were with this other man who'd just moved up from England, and there was three of us up the hill. Three's always the magical number when you're doing earth healing work or just healing work in general. And I was like, hello, what are you? And it was this beautiful dragon. And this dragon came and said, the dragons are returning. You know, we want you to help prepare the ley lines and to help, you know, your book's going to go out there. And you mentioned dragons in it, but we're going to return for 2012. And that's where now there's this massive proliferation, which is brilliant, of people working with dragons, believing in dragons. So that's where it all sort of started. But in 2012, I took the big winter solstice point as well, the 21, 12, 12, 12 moment. I took a group up Schiehallion, which is a famous mountain in Scotland. And we didn't make it right to the top because it is a Munro, but which is a mountain over 3,000 foot. And it was terrible weather, just the most torrential, wet, terrible weather. But we stopped about halfway up. And we were working with crystal skulls, and we were doing ceremony, and we were calling in the fairies. And then I was channeling everybody on this journey. And we went into the cave. Schiehallions famously got these fairy caves, but they'll only open up for certain people, and no one can ever find them again. And so we went on this journey into this cave, like a shamanic type journey. And we were doing all the work with fairies we were expecting to do, and we were doing the earth healing work with two people in Egypt at the giant pyramid to send all this golden light down the ley line that connects Schiehallion to the giant pyramid in Egypt. And we're doing all this, and then all of a sudden this golden dragon was asleep, and then it unfurled itself and it awoke. And we all had this experience with this beautiful golden dragon. So the Schiehallion Dragon Workshop, you can still download that. I channeled that the next month after on the website. And it was really from that time on, I started to work with dragons on my own personal healing journey to get well, because I still was on disability living allowance. I only got signed off that in 2018, so it was 15 years considered disabled. If you looked at me now, you would never know the journey my body has been through. But dragons they work with everybody in different ways. Okay, so there's lots of different teachers, and how Kevin and I work with them is different as well. They play with all our strengths. So I'll just talk to you about how I work with them and how you can, you know, bring them into your life as well. So, you know, our connection with them all is unique too. So there is no wrong or right way. They're multifaceted beings, they're multidimensional beings, and they are incredibly powerful, powerful beings of transmutation. So when we look at healing our lives, and when we look at, you know, what is holding us back in our lives, ultimately it's ourselves. We have soul sovereignty. We are in charge of our life. Okay, we choose who we choose to engage with. We choose what we want to experience. We choose what to eat. We choose who to speak to. We choose who to listen to. We are ultimately responsible. But what's actually happened, the dragons, you know, said, I made the choice to get well because doctors washed their hands of me. They said, at best, we'll maybe get you into a wheelchair. We're unlikely to get your cognitive functioning back. I was a straight A student. I am a clever person academically, but they were saying, oh, we won't be able to get that back. Your brain damaged. Okay. I didn't believe any of it. That was just their opinion. That wasn't my truth in my heart. My truth in my heart was I was going to get well. Someone was coming to get me well and help me to get well. All I had to do was hold on in there and just follow my, you know, intuition. So my first question to you all, as you embark on this journey of, you know, healing with the dragons and, you know, what is holding you back, do you feel or believe you can heal yourself? In fact, I'm going to put the grid view on so I can look at everybody and just see if people are going to nod to me or give me a thumbs up if they've got their cameras on. Because unless you believe that you can get well, then how are you going to get well? Okay, because it comes from you. So the healing journey, it comes from within. Even if it's just this tiny little spark of hope that you can, you know, get yourself better, you can heal your financial situation, you can heal your romantic life, you heal, you know, whatever your issue it is in your life, unless you have a tiny little bit of hope and this belief in yourself, then you're not giving your guides an opportunity, are you? You're not giving yourself this opportunity to get well. So you have to believe, first of all, you can get well. And we're also really conditioned in the West to look outside of ourselves, to go to a doctor to get well, or to get somebody else to fix our problems, rather than taking responsibility to fix our problems ourselves. Yes, I wouldn't be here with you today if Joyce hadn't come in with her healing technique, which was the self-care therapy machine, which had been developed in Denmark. That's ultimately what got me better. But I chose to follow the blood type diet that she put me on. I chose to really be strict with what I was eating, to get my body alkaline, to reduce the inflammation. They were all choices that I made. I chose to spend 5 days, 3 hours a day on this machine on different parts of my body, and not give up on day 3 when that was the really painful point of the treatment. I chose to continue to keep doing that. And how much of your life do you find yourself nearly getting there and like just giving up? The dragons say so many people like just get to the point and then they let that energy go. So there's a lot of like taking self-responsibility. But also remember, you have spiritual guides with you. And even if you can't hear them, even if you can't see them, even if they don't talk to you like they talk to me, they are talking to you all the time. They are listening all the time, and they're trying to communicate with you. They are trying to show you messages. So, I always say to people, if you keep hearing a song on the radio, or if you keep if a book falls off a shelf, open the page. What is the page? I'll often grab a book off of the bookshelf, okay, and just say, give me a message from this book, and open it up on the page. So I did this recently. I did a Pleiadian transmission for the last new moon a couple of days ago, and I had the Pleiadian Agenda book on my bookshelf, very famous book by Barbara Hand Clowes. Some of you might have read it. And I just knew I had to read this book. It's this size, and I've read it in the past. I had no clue what was in the book that I needed to know. But I was asking for some healing guidance. And I grabbed the book and I just held it, and I just opened it, and it opens up a blood cleansing, which is something that I'm working on, because I'm going to my acupuncturist, and she's like, oh, it's the spleen meridian. Well, the spleen's what purifies your blood. So I thought, oh, isn't that fascinating? It's definitely my blood that's physically the next stage of the journey. So although I'm well and I'm sat here with you just now, I see wellness and healing as a lifestyle. I don't see it as, oh, you get well and then that is it. It's a journey you commit to. It's a process. It's not, it doesn't have an end point. You can continue to develop, you can continue to grow, you can continue to heal. And it's only the ego that makes you think, oh, I should have done this by now, or, well, when will this end? So many emails I get saying, I've been doing all this work, why can't I still do this? Or, I can't I can't quite understand why this isn't happening for me yet. And one of the biggest things on my healing journey was to let go of all expectations. Every day was a new day. I had no expectations on what was going to happen on that day. I actually didn't have any expectations for healing outcome either. I just was connected to divine source, and I was like open to receive whatever I wanted to receive. That's not to say that I didn't have bad days, that I didn't have days where I thought, this is never ending. How much longer is this going to take? Of course, we all have those moments. We are only human. But the point is to not make them define you. So what I want to do in this healing talk today, workshop, whatever you want to call it, is I would like to do a live channeling for the dragons with you on this topic. So you want to get it straight from the source. I'm going to take you on a guided meditation. Lots of you, come on my healing journeys. I will channel this meditation for you. But first of all, and I'm going to introduce you, actually, I'm going to introduce Tamar's dragon skull, because he's holding space. So this is one of my largest, not the largest, this is one of my large dragons, Refundus. If you like working with dragon skulls, then that's another speciality of mine, working with the crystal dragons now. I studied crystals at university, and that was good preparation for what my mission is, working with him. So Rafundus is here holding space as well. He is, so every Sunday and Thursday I do crystal skull healing. Sometimes it's dragons, sometimes it's crystal skull. So Rafundus is actually doing the healings today on chakra balancing. So if you fancy having an hour's crystal healing at 9 o'clock tonight, which is just an hour and a half's time, that's what I'm on to at 9 o'clock. The details for that are on the website. And it's like receiving distance Reiki. You can receive remote, dragon healing as well. So what I'm going to talk to you about now, and we will have a chance for questions at the end, and I'll bring through personal messages if we have time for that too, is the dragons say there's 5 key things they want you to know about healing. Okay. And particularly on healing what is holding you back. Okay, so number 1, you have to detox your life, whether that's your thoughts, whether it's your physical body, whether it's your lifestyle. We are currently on Earth as humans living in a toxic environment. Okay, our air is toxic, our water is toxic, our media is toxic, particularly in the UK at the moment, well, just in the world in general, but in the UK at the moment, it's a pretty negative space with the cost of living crisis. I know America's got a bit of that going on as well. People are just generally not very happy. So detoxing, I'm pretty much an expert on detoxing. That's what has got me well. So there's information on that. My husband's got a website, simplycure.me as well. He's a homeopath who just works with light workers now. So you want to be physically detoxing. You want to be making your living space, your environment as high vibration as possible. Okay, because the higher you vibrate, the healthier you are. Okay, it's just a given. Eating well. We want, I know not everybody can eat organic. Here in Argyll, it's really hard to get all organic foods. I used to be able to get that when we lived near Edinburgh, and I could eat all organic all the time. But even organic food, as an ex-environment advisor, they still put chemicals in it. They're just allowed those certain chemicals, and they can still call it organic, but they will still be treating them with chemicals. So the dream is that we grow our own fruit and veg, but not everybody has the opportunity for that. But anyway, the key thing is, to really invest in eating well. Exercising too, it gets the lymph flowing, it gets the energy flowing, and it keeps your acupuncture meridian points freer. So the machine that got me well was actually working on the acupuncture points. It was blasting ions at them in the body, and that was freeing up all the stagnant energy. What actually happened to me was I'd had the flu vaccine. Now, after the COVID vaccine, there's a lot of stuff in the media about vaccine injuries, but back in those days, doctors wouldn't admit it. They weren't admitting the vaccines could cause injuries. I was frontline government staff, so that meant that basically we were in the bunker. If that button was hit by whoever the world leader is, we were in the bunker. So we all didn't have to, I suppose, have it. Looking it back, I could have stood my ground and not had it, but I was 23. I didn't know any different. We were told you have to have it, your frontline government staff, as many people were with the COVID jab, and we know where all that went. The other thing they have said is to meditate, to take time out for stillness. Okay, so you can actually allow your energy field to calm down. You can allow your mind to calm down, and you can be present within yourself. Your bodies actually require that, okay, at some point in the day, even if it's 5 minutes, to just allow your central nervous systems to calm down and to have a reset. And number 5 is remember you have spiritual guides, and you're all here because you're interested in dragons. So call on your dragon guides. You've all got a guardian dragon. You've all got a team of dragons who are around you. Remember to talk to them. Remember to ask them for help. They have to follow the golden rule that they can't interfere in your life. The whole point of coming onto the planet as a human is to have free will, and they can't actually override that. They'll nudge you, they'll try and give you signs, will hope that you listen to them and speak to them. But as soon as you ask for help, if you're not feeling well, how many of you say to Rain, oh, please help me, I don't feel well, or say to your dragon, please help me, I'm not feeling well, what can I do? People forget, particularly if your life's not going great, you forget. So they're the 5 things the dragons were like, please teach them about that for holding, these will help you overcome what is holding you back. They also wanted, and Kev and I were talking about this beforehand, they also want to talk to you about the grids. So we live as humans in all these grids that you can't actually see. Think of the Matrix film. Most of you might have seen of it, at least heard of the Matrix film. And a lot of people say that was a spiritual film. I mean, I was not awake when I saw that. I was still a student when that first came out. But a lot of the work that my clients do is removing themselves from the grids that you have tapped into. So these are like conditioning grids that as we grow up, we get conditioned into certain ways of thinking, certain beliefs, certain thought forms, and we also have egos. And our ego's aim is to actually protect us, but the ego holds us back through its protection as well. And as we go on this ascension journey and as we raise in our frequency, I mean, my clients, we're working to birth the 7th dimensional Earth. Most people are still, working the 5th, but that's just part of my mission is on this earth healing work. So a lot of my clients are on my fast track program. Please see one of them who's doing fast track ascension with me or just completed our ones here with me today on this call, is really drumming it down into looking at, where we're being held back through these grids. And so there's 3 main grids that the dragons, when we do this healing meditation in a moment, are wanting you to be aware of, and it's your choice if you want to disconnect from them. Okay, so you can do the meditation, but you choose whether you want to disconnect. Remember, you always have free choice. So the biggest grid that has the strongest hold on humanity, that holds us all back, is actually the fear grid. So fear is what stops most of us moving forward. Whether that is fear of making a mistake, fear of change, fear for the sake of being fearful because you're just locked into everybody else's fear, fear of disappointing others, fear of not doing as you're told. Whatever your story with fear is, you want to look at that and where you're tapped into the fear grids. The anger grid is the other one, the blame, the anger, someone else's fault. It's this has happened to me, and you're angry about it. And once you take anger away, then your body can heal. So I lay there for 2 years, and people are saying, "Why is she not angry? Why wasn't I angry?" I wasn't angry because what was the point in being angry? Who was I going to be angry at? Anger wasn't an emotion that affected me at that point. No, it turned out I'd suppressed it all and I'm unraveling it now, 15, 20 years later. We're good at that. We suppress our emotions. So that lying there, I didn't feel the anger. I had buried it so deeply because I realized that being angry made me feel not good. There was no point in being angry when I couldn't move. But I had actually suppressed a lot of it. And mine was anger at God, ultimately, or this higher power that I didn't really believe existed, but I sort of did. And why me? My life was going great. Why me? I didn't know at that point because my consciousness wasn't there to know that there was another plan. Was I ever going to give up my top level government secured job to write a book about fairies and to set up a spiritual business? No, I was never going to do that unless something absolutely dramatic happened in my life. Was I going to live on benefits for 15 years and not be able to move and not be able to travel and do everything like that? No, who's going to actually choose that? But what did it do? It gave me knowledge, it gave me wisdom, and it gave me compassion for other people that are going through what they're going through. I have so much compassion. I was an addict for 9 months. I was addicted to temazepam because the doctors had put me on it. I was never going to be an addict in my life. I didn't smoke. I would never think of taking drugs. I wouldn't have understood addiction. I watched Trainspotting. I'm Scottish. I didn't understand that scene where they were climbing up the walls in the toilet. You know, I watched that as a 17-year-old sneaking into an 18 film with all my, friends. And I was just like, well, that didn't mean anything to us. Oh my goodness, as an addict, I got that scene. I totally got that scene. And I worked so hard. I worked so hard to, with a wonderful district nurse who my doctor had said there's nothing we can do, but I can send Charlotte, the district nurse, who does all, she was a Reiki master, it turned out, and she was an aromatherapist. And so she started Reikiing me and she started putting vetiver on my solar plexus point. And she knew she had to get it in before 12 o'clock because then the addiction, the cravings would start to hit in. So if any of you have taken sleeping tablets, you'll maybe know how hard it is to get off of them. So I would never have experienced something like that. But then the last grid that they say a lot of you are trapped into is the grief grid, the sadness grid, the sorrow grid, the depression grid, the apathy grid, and that's what holds a lot of people back because they just can't see their way out of the situation. So the great thing with the dragons is that they're transmuters. So they will help you transmute, if you call them in, these thoughts, these feelings, these emotions. But as we said at the start, you have to believe that you can be helped. You have to believe that you can receive the healing, that you can be healed, because otherwise, what's the point? And it's like everything. It's like the placebo effect that doctors know about. I mean, I used to do shows with Dr. David Hamilton, who was a scientist, and it was the placebo effect that made him change. He's now on a Hay House as best authors. He's from Stirling, not so far from here, 2-hour drive from here. And he wrote the book The Mind Can Heal the Body, and a massive part of it is that belief that you can get well. So how are we on time wise? Yeah, I'm probably going to do about a 15-minute meditation. I'm just going to quick drink. So I suggest that you all have some water with you and have a drink if you can before the meditation. So dragon energy is very, very powerful, and you also want to be really pretty well hydrated before you connect with them, because then the molecules of the water, your body, everything's flowing, and the dragon energy will be able to come through. So I work with chakras. That's what they taught me. I know there's different people talk about the lower dantian, the upper dantian. If you're, do Tai Chi, I do Tai Chi as well, or the upper triangle, lower triangle if you're a yogi, whatever your beliefs are. But I work with the yogic system because that works well for me. This is all non-denominational. It's not connected with any religious philosophy or any philosophy at all. We're just working with the energy of pure source consciousness through the dragons. Okay, so I'm going to channel them live for you now, and we'll see what they want to say to us today, sorry. And how I work as a channel is that I just let them speak directly through me. I've worked for years as a channel. It started out I heard them, then I repeated what they were saying, but now I'm in the flow. I can just do it pure cognizantly. So I basically bilocate. So I'm listening as soon as you are. I don't remember all of it so clearly as you might. And I just let them take over me. So you'll get codes and frequencies from the energy as well. If there's any dragon light language that comes through, sounds like gobbledygook, just go with it. Don't let your conscious brain try to figure it out. You're just receiving the frequencies and the codes. And if there is any still points, just receive whatever telepathic wisdom and knowledge they're bringing to you. Okay, so I suggest if you want to take notes from the channeling at this point, that's absolutely fine. But I suggest when you go into meditation that you are warm enough, comfortable enough, and hopefully not be disturbed. If you are disturbed, do remember to ground yourself. If you've got a child that needs to come through and needs help or something, just remember that you've been in another dimension and to try and come back into body. Okay, so let's see what the dragons have to say for us today. I don't even know what type of dragons are going to come through, so we're just putting out there for any type of dragon that wants to come through. Greetings, greetings, greetings. My name is Lorotona. I am a dragon of air. I am an elemental dragon. And the reason I have come forward is the air element is such an important element to bring into balance, to assist you all with healing. And in particular, healing what is holding you back in life. For the air element connects with the mental body. And it is your mental body that governs your thought forms. As air dragons, our role on a physical level is to clean up the element of air on Earth. Obviously, there's been a lot of discussion for the last century of humanity and air pollution. And your scientists have worked, and politicians, to improve air quality at the physical level. But the air element is also affected by thought consciousness, and as humanity has grown as a species on Earth, your thought forms affect all of the Earth's systems. Many humans do not think. Their thoughts affect others. But you're fully aware, consciously or unconsciously, of when you have a positive thought, the effect that this has on how you feel and actually the cellular structure of your body. Similarly, negative thinking, fearful thinking, anger and lower emotion thinking, how that affects your physical self. It is the air element, the mental body, that is having the greatest impact in humanity's evolution at this time. So take a moment to be conscious of your mental body self. Over 90% of the thoughts you have in a day, you've had the day before, and the day before that, and the day before that, and the day before that. When you take control of your thinking, when you actually become conscious of your thoughts, you can start to use thoughts as a manifestation form to create a new reality, to create health, wealth, whatever it is you choose to funnel positive energy into. So if, for example, part of your body is feeling unwell, if you choose to think positively about it, it'll start to heal. This is scientifically proven. Same as when you're constantly critical of yourself. If you look in the mirror and constantly think negatively about the shape of your nose, colour of your hair, texture of your skin, that does not bring about healing. What brings about healing in all areas is the higher thought forms. Higher thought forms of love, joy, happiness, peace, fun. Choose, dear ones, to raise your vibration. Choose to heal your life. Choose to ignore those thoughts that creep in, that are illusion, that are untrue. Choose to find yourself within. And this is what we dragons can offer you. We can offer to help transmute the thoughts which hold you back. If you give us free rein to do so. So you have this choice now. We offer it to you. Namaste. Adonai. Om Shanti. Okay. So just allowing yourself to come back round for a moment before I take you on a meditation journey. I'd like to just get you to engage again. Would you like to receive this healing we're offering? Type in yes. We'll see if we've got enough people which want to have this healing experience. Okay, great. The yeses are pinging through. Because the power of making a choice is key. Okay, so when you feel in life you cannot make a choice, or you don't have any options, or you are unable to choose really, so you give your power to somebody else, then that blocks the healing process. And they just really wanted you to realize that it's about reclaiming that power of sovereignty within to heal yourself. Okay, and you might have to ask for help. And I'm not dissing the mainstream medical profession. I wouldn't be alive again if it wasn't for them, because my baby was egg bound. He was upside down. I had 2 contractions. Modern medicine saved me, allowing me to safely give birth. So I can totally value, it's about having non-judgment, but it's about, being discerning about making the choices as to what is right for you. So many drugs the doctors tried to put me on, I just knew were a no. I remember arguing with the GP for literally half an hour. I was refusing to take a particular type of antidepressant because I'd read in a women's magazine about how it was causing people to kill themselves. And after half an hour, and had I not been such a strong political negotiator and advocate, it took half an hour and she went, yeah, you're right. This is all true, what you're saying. I was like, why argue with me for half an hour? I knew what I was saying was true. How many people have the strength to do that, particularly when they're ill? I had the strength to do it because of my background and because of my training, and because I had the strong conviction in myself as to, what was right for my body. But not everybody has that, and sometimes we do have to be advocates to help other people as well, and just introducing them to their dragon guides. That can be one gift you can give somebody. Do you know dragons are real? Do you know these dragons can help you in your life if you just called them in? It's a simple thing like that you can do to help others. We don't all have to be brain surgeons. We don't all have to be, homeopathic doctors or whatever. We can be advocates in our own way for waking up spiritually and helping people, with their healing journey. So dragons are ready now to take us on this journey. I realise that we're running out of time a bit. So I will take you on a 10-minute journey. They have a lot to say, these dragons today, Kev. I'm sorry, I know you've got another speaker waiting. We'll go on this journey, and I will read the questions after if I don't have time to answer anything and after the meditation, but we'll go on this little journey. Obviously, normally I do half-hour journeys, hour journeys with them. So this is just a little taster for you of how the dragons work through me. Okay, so Because I am doing it on Zoom and I can't be set up like I am on Vimeo for my sessions where I have all my instruments laid out, you're seeing me, it's like a recording sort of studio. I've only got 2 singing bowls, some chimes to help us on the journey, but I'm sure we'll still have a great experience. So, inviting you now, close your eyes. As we call upon the healing dragons,
As we call upon healing dragons,
to come forward and connect with us now. Centering your energy field as you call upon your personal guides, angels, star beings, elementals, spirit guides, whoever you wish to come in to hold space for you as you have this journey with the dragons. Just inviting them in now. Now, starting to relax, starting to let go. Breathing in deeply, filling yourself up with beautiful, fresh prana. As you feel the dragon energy connecting with your auric field now. So you feel sense of beautiful green healing light coming down from above. As you open up your auric field, opening up your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus chakra, your heart chakra, your throat chakra, your third eye chakra, and your crown chakras now. If you're working with the higher chakras, ask them to open now too. As you consciously choose to step into your spiritual self aspect, taking a moment to ground yourself, sending your beautiful grounding roots of light, one from each foot, burrowing down, 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 down through the rock layer, down through the crystal layer, down through the inner cities, down, 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 anchoring yourself into the beating heart of Mother Earth. Spreading your roots out like the roots of the old oak tree, as you bring Mother Earth's loving healing light up to fill your heart space. Now, 2 beautiful dragons appear. Some of you may be able to see them as you open up your clairvoyance now, your ability to psychically see. Some of you might be able to hear them as you open up your clairaudience, your ability to psychically hear. Some of you may feel them as you open up your clairsentience, your ability to psychically feel, and your claircognizance at the crown chakra, to psychically know the wisdom the dragons wish to share with you today. Greetings, greetings, greetings. We are the consciousness of the healing dragon. We come forward to take you on this short journey to our healing tree of life. This is a very special dragon tree that exists within the ethers. And as you are invited now to journey with us, we tell you what healing your soul is asking for you to focus on in your life at this time. Allow this wisdom from us to you to filter into your consciousness now. as we ride you over on our back to this healing dragon tree. Now, where you choose to connect with this tree will show you where you are on your healing journey at this time. Whatever is holding you back. Some of you may be at the roots, some of you may be at the base of the tree. Some of you may be halfway up in the branches, some of you may be at the top. Does not matter, it's personal to you. But we've brought you here to this tree to meet with other dragons. As we start this journey, healing you from grids that hold you back. First, we tackle the fear grid. If you give us permission, we use our dragon breath to connect into your matrix, to help vibrationally dissolve your connection to the fear grid. We give you a percentage now of how connected to this fear grid at this time you are. Again, do not judge it, just use it as a guide point of knowing. So you can see progress you make each time you come to connect with us. Now, we start to work on the dissolution of the anger grid from within you. How connected in with the anger grid are you? Are you ready to ask us to invite us to help you disconnect from this anger grid on Earth now? Allow us to do this healing. Feel us doing this healing. Just receive. Just let go. Just relax. So now we connect in with the grief grid, the sorrow grid. A grid you can become stuck in, overwhelmed by. How connected to this grid are you at this time? Do you give us permission now to help with the dissolution from this grid? Humbarialaya modusukuduiana podiangalaya pudusaria katiaria malaya katsirua manila puduaka. Najibariana la tia maria katia sidiarua. Magia tia tuari badialaya satianga nadia sidia diakadia hadia sidia. Horia pulia katatia sidia monia gadadia desa. Some of you have had some resistance to letting go, fear of the unknown. The mind wants to understand, does not trust the intuitive self. That activation of light language helps dissolve this for you. And the more times you listen to this, dear ones, the easier it becomes for you to trust in this healing process, to trust in this healing we dragons can offer you. But as you embark on this healing of journey with us, it's important to know it's the journey. The more effort you put in, the more you reap the rewards. The more you connect with us, the more we can help. Take a moment as we finish up healing in your energy matrices. But now, it's time for you to return back from our tree of healing, back into your body. We guide you back lovingly with your consciousness. And take a moment to love yourself. Take a moment to tell yourself how wonderful you are, how beautiful you are. As we offer to continue our healing with you for the next 48 hours, if you wish this, is your choice once again. We've enjoyed connecting with you today. Namaste. So just taking a moment to allow yourself to return back into body. Starting to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And opening your eyes when you feel ready to come back round into your sacred space. Grounding yourself. So do feel free in the chat to share your experiences. I'll stay on. I'll try and reply to comments if you require it. But you know, feel free to contact me about any questions. I know we've sort of run out of time. I can talk on dragons for ages. Well, dragons want to talk to me for ages. So my email, you can get me info@elementalbeings.co.uk. I've got a Dragon Wisdom School group on Facebook. You can also friend me on Facebook, ALPHEDIA ARARA KENCHINGTON, or Instagram, ALPHEDIA_channel. So thank you, Kevin, for hosting me again today. And I do one-to-one channels. So if you'd like a channeled message from the dragons, I do dragon soul channelings. I do individual dragon skull healings. I'll show you the funds again, so you could book an hour's healing, personal healing from him, and you could get a 2 to 3 minute channeled message from the fundus that I bring through for you. So do let me know if you enjoyed that. Let me know how you got on with your grids. Let me know what your percentages were at. Anything like that. This is what we do in the, you know, the workshops. I do a lot of personal interaction with people. So every month we bring through dragon workshops as well. So yeah, it was. Oh, thank you, Claudia. Right, Susan, some high percentages there. We'll work on them. I was down at 2% for all of them, so just as well, because I've done a lot of inner healing work on myself. But that's what makes the journey fun. So feel free, and I do have lots of beautiful dragons. If you want to become a crystal skull dragon as well, they're on the Dragon Skull shop. People have always asked me about that. But yeah. Handing back to Kevin, so thank you so much. Oh my gosh, we've got 79 messages on the chat.
There's a lot to read through. That was powerful and beautiful as always. So thank you for sharing the dragons with us, and that beautiful skull. Every time I see that skull, my whole body just goes, "Whoa!" It's gorgeous.
Yeah, he's a good one. He was my first big dragon. He was a show dragon from Tucson. Back in the day. How long have I had? I've had Rafundus over a decade. So yeah,
Wow.
he's a great
Lots
dragon.
of
So yeah,
energy.
9 o'clock tonight if you want some more healing, it'll be chakra balancing. So that's a good one to come on. The details are on the Dragon School website or my Elemental Beings website. So
Beautiful.
great.
I'll just share your links again with everyone.
Oh,
There's
hi
the
Sonia.
website, your husband's
Doing well.
website, and then
you're down the bottom there.
last
Right,
time
I'm
you
start
were on.
recognizing some people that come on my retreats, do my courses. Oh, hi Zara as well. I see you there. Thanks for coming on.
Cool, superb. Thank you very much. We'll move on to our next speaker. Please hang around if you want to. Obviously, I understand you've got a busy life, but if you want to answer some of the questions, I think there were a few questions.
Yeah, I will. I'll definitely sit and do that. I'll mute myself now, and I'll look at some of the points. Thank you
Beautiful.
so much.
Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you next time. Maybe we'll let you have 2 hours.
Yeah,
Because the dragons have a lot to say.
We'll do a full workshop. Okay, bye. Lovely to meet you all. Thank you for coming along. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Let's send the beautiful lady lots of love and lots of love for the dragons as well. Beautiful.